Welcome. Well, it's that time again when ghosts and goblins come to roam the earth, and the giant pumpkin comes to roost in Half Moon Bay. All the fairies partake in the festivities, and they've especially come to possess Pacifica and your host, Margarita Cardenas. Urban Traditions was privy to all of the festivities that prep the Pumpkin Fest. You'll be surprised. There was a record-breaking California record again, done by the giant pumpkin. We're going to see some of that. But first, let's go visit Pat Keefe, the president of the Coastal Arts League in Half Moon Bay, and take a peek at how they've prepped up for Pumpkin Fest.
That's in Illinois.
You can vote for your top two, and you can put them in the little buckets there, and then that's a starting point for our board of directors to kind of help choose what's going to be the next poster next year.
That's right.
Have you seen the big one that they blew up of this year's poster?
Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic, you guys?
Yeah.
It's been, the feedback has just been incredible. So anyway, I just want to introduce our board of directors that's here too. We have Bev Ashcraft here.
Hey, Bev.
Heidi Kuiper. Kathy Lorente. Melvin Mello, somewhere.
It's a big night for us because we're having the voting for next year's pumpkin poster for Half Moon Bay. And we are a nonprofit organization, and we support the arts here on the coast and the artists and the event. No, they're from all over. They start very early, like a juried show. You know, the information gets out there early. And then, of course, like juried shows, they all come in at the last minute. So Shirley Keldicott, of course, has been the chair on this, and she works very, very hard. But as you can see, it's a beautiful show. And of course, you know, the award goes to a high school student. You know, that they benefit because they will get tuition for an art course when they leave. So they can be, yes, anybody who can sign up. But many of them are younger artists, and it's very exciting to support them. And we never know who's going to win because the public's voting on it. People are going to come in and out and vote, and then the Beautification Society, they have the final vote. So they're, you know, the popular artists and the final artists.
Secretary for the Coastal Arts League, and I also communicate with the members via email, and I also do the website for the Coastal Arts League. I'm not a member of the board, but I do take the notes, and they allow my input. Okay, and I do other various and sundry things. I just wrote the prospectus for the 28th annual juried show, and I do a lot of other things that are asked of me. Like I say, I'm the chief cook and bottle washer of Coastal Arts League. I need leadership, though. I don't want to be at the helm. That's Pat Keefe's job. My job is doing what she tells me to do. I'm a good soldier, and I work very hard. But this is a wonderful organization. I love this organization. I've been here for 12 years. The first, what really got me caught up in it is a sense of community here. There's a wonderful sense of community. I like everybody in this group. I really do. I think we're all characters, we're all artists. It's fun, it's interesting, and it doesn't cost very much to be a member of the Coastal Arts League. $35 a year, and if you're a senior, it's $20 a year, or a student, $20 a year. Every year, you can have at least one of your art pieces hang in here, and the Coastal Arts League is a museum as well as a gallery. And that has a lot of, for someone who is an artist to say that they have their work hanging in a museum, I think that is something very, very special. Artwork and photographs by people who specialize in the big waves of Mavericks. Jeff Clark usually donates at least one or two surfboards at the Maverick Show. It's a huge event, and it brings in a big population of people, a lot of people. We have our annual shows. Among the annual shows is our juried show, which is coming up, and that we have a juror that selects pieces, and there are prizes awarded for that. So we do have our annual shows. We have the Kellicott Show, the Kellicott International Photo Show, which is the biggest show, and it's the biggest. It brings in the most revenue for the Coastal Arts League, and that is people from all over the world, of course, enter into that. Okay, well, it's the Beautification Committee. We're doing this for the Beautification Committee, and the Beautification Committee, the money from this will go for art scholarships for students. And that's what it goes for. And so that's the community benefit. And so we help them, and they help them. I mean, it's just a real community effort. I believe it will, but it will not be announced for a while. I think it's going to be announced at the end of October. I'm not really sure why that is. If you go into the show here, you can vote in the People's Choice Award, and then you can participate in it too. Everybody can participate in this. And voting, yes, and voting for the best poster. I already got to see the posters. I feel lucky because I put the website up for the posters, and people can go online and they can see all the posters. I got to pick my favorites. I was the second person to see them, so I felt really lucky. Anyway. But it's fun. It's a community thing. It's very Half Moon Bay.
Owners of Spring Mountain Gallery at 790 Main Street, and we're custom framers and photographers. And I've been affiliated with the Coastal Arts League probably since the mid '80s. I've seen it transform into a lot of different ways. Right now, it's I think it's been in this location for the last maybe 8 years now. There's a few people involved that are really important. One of them is Arabella Decker, who has supported this, and I think she started this back in the 70s. They have every year they've got to fill in the months, and I help make the decisions on what shows get accepted to our gallery and museum. We're in this community. We are part of Half Moon Bay. As you can see tonight, we've got the Half Moon Bay Pumpkin Poster Contest, which of course the winner will have their artwork on every wine glass, every T-shirt, every poster, everything will be plastered in Half Moon Bay.
Well, do you have a favorite? Well, I did, and I voted also. That you won't know which one yet will be picked till the end of October. Urban Traditions will keep you posted on the winning poster design of 2013. And as I said before, there was a record-breaking California record again for the biggest pumpkin, and it was brought in by Pleasant Hill, Oregon's resident and farmer, Mr. Thad Starr, and his daughter Danica. The pumpkin came in at 1,775 pounds. We're going to see some footage of that. But first of all, we're going to be introduced by Mr. Melvin Mallow Jr. His father initiated the Pumpkin Fest actually the pumpkin way off in the 70s. What a sense of pride his family must feel to see how Half Moon Bay has been put on the map as the pumpkin capital of the world. Let's go to our footage.
Yes, it's especially the way off. The way off is one thing my father started, and that started a few years later, and they set up a contest between Circleville, Ohio, and they had a hard wire from an apartment building run out to the street, and he got on the phone with Circleville, Ohio, and they exchanged the weights that way, and that's how it all started. And the way offs are worldwide now. Worldwide. My father, he was a county agriculture inspector, and also he grew up as a farmer, a dairyman, and then he became an agriculture inspector, and then we farmed hay as I grew up, hay and barley, after he got off his job, and it was a weekend. Well, it's a pretty good operation, but I worked with local farmers when I was younger, and I've moved on since then. I remember when I was a young boy. They raised money, or I don't know how it happened, but they raised money to paint the town. So everybody got out and painted the town. And now OSHA would never understand that or allow that, because here's a bunch of young kids. I mean, we're 9, 8 years old up on scaffolding on the side of buildings painting. I remember painting the bridge with some other friends when we were there. That was probably early 70s. So I understand that's how it all started. They wanted to raise money to start fixing up the downtown. So the Half Moon Bay, that's all I grew up with. I grew up with it. So my father was involved in it. So I became involved in it. Just was with the parades when we were little kids and everything else. In fact, the parade we lived right over here, and the parade would start over at our yard for many, many years. And I remember the first parade in 1970. I enjoy it, and I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored. I appreciate that I've grown up here and stayed here. And a lot of people they live somewhere and then they think they got to move or they got to get out of there. But maybe they were born in the right place and just, give to your community. I don't know. I enjoy it. I get more out of it than, the old saying is you get more out of it than you put into it. And it's true. I do.
Is a monster.
Half Moon Bay, your ocean currents call to me. Half Moon Bay, from the mountains down to the sea. For 30 years now I've been singing your song of people.
1,775 pounds! Wow! Third Star, Pleasant Hill, Oregon. Hugging his daughter Danica. And of course you can see Thad Star and his family in the Great Pumpkin Parade this weekend. Saturday, 12 noon. And here's a young lady that chose the seed. I think she did.
Wow, wasn't that humongous? And the GNC board has rules and regulations. No pumpkin must have any tears or bumps because they will be disqualified. That produces rotting inside, and that's what makes them disqualified. There is a real sense of community here in Half Moon Bay, with the example of Melvin Mello Jr. His first memories are of painting the bridge in Half Moon Bay. That's unthought of right now. You can get into a lot of trouble. It would be called graffiti. We're going to go to have a little talk with Rocky Rainier, the head judge of the costume festival. There's all types of sections, and all the participants can participate in the parade. First, we're going to see some of the contestants, and then we're going to see the parade. Enjoy.
My name is Rocky Rayner, and I have been the head judge now for the past 10 years, and I look forward to this every year. It's just so much fun to see the kids get all dressed up. Now I am actually seeing kids who are in contest, they're coming with their children, and that is so much fun. That is really fun. I like that. Yeah. You know, it's really funny. When I left the house today, I think I've been doing this 25 years. And I started out at the 0 at 3, and I worked myself up to head judge. That's why I take bribes. And bribes are always accepted, and that's chocolate and, of course, hard alcohol if you're over 21. It's been tradition here that you hand out chocolate and to the judges to make sure you get an advantage. The categories are 0 to 3, which I will tell you is the hardest. That is the hardest group. Then there's 4 to 6. Then 7 to 9, 10 to 12, 13 to adult in the group. And the group and the 0 to 3 are the hardest ones to judge. Both of these groups that are the groups, they start working on their costumes the day after the pumpkin festival, and they start and they work all year. And I see them all year long, and I ask them, and they always tell me, "Oh, we can't tell you until the day of." But at least I get free drinks when I hang out at the local restaurants. It's because the bribing goes on all year. It is fun. It really is a fun group, and it really brings Half Moon Bay together. That's what this is all about. Well, the judges change every year, but they're usually from the community. In fact, all of them are for the community. And there are judges who stay for a couple of years and leave, and then there's judges who, like me, and there's a couple of others that have been around for years. But it's really tough to be a judge because the costumes are so good. They're really good. So.
Those groups are amazing. They're already planning for next year. Those amazing designers are already hard at work bribing Rocky and all the other judges. We have some interviews from some artists and that partook in the parade. Let's go to our footage.
DJ Shah from San Francisco under Mestre Urubu Malandro, and we also teach and train in Pacifica.
And your name?
Montagna, and I'm here with some of my students and other teachers for Miguia and a lot of the other students here in Pacifica.
And how long have you been doing this? How long have you been teaching?
I've been teaching off and on for 6 or 7 years, and I've been training for about 15.
And explain a little bit about capoeira, because a lot of people they think that, yes, it is a martial art, but explain a little bit about the history.
So, yes, it is a martial art, but it's also rooted in folklore and dance. It goes all the way back to Africa, where slaves were brought from Africa to Brazil hundreds of years ago and developed from there, incorporating all kinds of aspects of Brazilian culture, African, and now American, Japanese, everything. It's all over the world now, so that's the beauty of it. And so we're happy just to be here and spread capoeira to the coast. There's no other groups here. There's a lot of capoeira in San Francisco, but as you've seen in the parade when we were doing our movements, there were a lot of people that were going, ooh, what is that? They've never seen it before. So we're happy to spread the music, the dance, the martial art, all the aspects, and we hope it gets more people interested to come out and try it in Pacifica. So the students are Piu Piu here, Shauna, and you'll see I'm introducing different American or Brazilian names because we incorporate nicknames based on how we play or what kind of characteristics we might have. So there's Lagoa, trains in San Francisco, Professora Formiguinha, who also teaches in San Francisco, and my name's Professor Montaña, so we're both at the same level of a teacher. And Olia Di Gatto, who trains in San Francisco. There were a few more of us here earlier, but they tried to get a jump on the traffic, but we came out in full force. Well, I've grown up in San Mateo, Half Moon Bay, so I've always been a native all my life, and had the opportunity just to bring capoeira here in the last year or two. But I've been coming on my own for a while, and a lot of the students live in Half Moon Bay or Pacifica, and even came out all the way from San Francisco, so I'm really happy to have them here. A beating bao is made of all natural things here. This is a gourd, a carved out dried fruit. This is a strong piece of wood you can get from different types of trees. This is actually handmade and woven. You can get dried beans in there or whatever to get the shaker. That's obviously a rock. And the vagueta, which is just a stick. In the old days, you might use a piece of sinew here. Right now this is a piece of metal from a tire. That's what they've used in the last 50 to 100 years. But even before that, you could use tissue from an animal. So this is the heart of capoeira here, the rhythm, which dictates all the movements that you see. And I just want to add, we don't normally dress like this. This is part of the Halloween thing. I don't want to scare anybody out there. So just play a little, and the pandero is also going to help keep the percussive rhythm, and this is all you need. So here we go. And then of course we need to sing. So Formiguinha is going to lead a chorus, and we're all going to repeat. Oh, si, si, si. Oh, now, now, now. Oh, si, si, si. Oh, now, now, now. Oh, si, si, si. Oh, now, now, now. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
To see the rest, come try the classes at 640 Crespi Drive, Pacifica Athletic Center on Capoeira Ijesha, and you'll get to see the capoeira. That's just a preview. So we'll give you guys the information, and thanks for coming, PCT.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 640 Crespi Drive, right off of Highway 1 in Lindamar in Pacifica. We're teaching Thursdays and Saturdays right now. And if you're a member of the Pacifica Athletic Center, the classes are free. Otherwise, you could drop in, and it's only $10 to try it. And we're there Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. And the more people that come, the more classes we're going to add. And we've also got the opportunity in San Francisco to train too.
And where is that?
That's at 17th and Harrison in the south side of the Mission. It's a lot easier to get to for us that live on the coast. You could just drive there and it takes 20 minutes. There's our Mestre Urubu Malandro, and there it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you've got capoeira all the nights of the week if you want. All ages. Formiguinha teaches all kinds of kids from all over the Bay Area. I teach a little bit of kids, but I mostly teach the adults. But all the age groups are welcome. And as you can imagine, capoeira is a great tool for children, especially with the music, the culture, the movements, the rhythm. They learn a lot from it. And a lot of the students here, their kids also train capoeira as well. So
Capoeira has its roots in Brazil, and there are also many houses in San Francisco. Professor Montaña is spreading the culture here down the coast. Let me remind you that if you're a member of the Pacifica Athletic Center, classes are free for you. And it's a good way to exercise and keep fit, besides singing and learning percussion. The address is 640 Crespi Drive, or if you're in San Francisco, 2095 Harrison at 17th Street. Well, it's time for this ferry to prepare for All Hallows Eve. We're going to close with the percussive sounds and the street entertainment of Grow Wiser and the percussive sounds of Little Deacon Dixon, a 5-year-old virtuoso. See you next year, Half Moon Bay. Remember to befriend us on Facebook. If you've missed an episode, look for us on YouTube. And happy gardening, everyone. And above all, happy Halloween.
Midnight, the world ain't